Good afternoon and welcome to my class. And I am Professor Dr. Tubbins, Ph.D.
And I have a Ph.D.
People often wonder how exactly I got as smart as I am. And well, they're in luck, because I probably am the biggest brain out there, I can't tell you how I got there. I graduated from the most prestigious school ever, Big Brain Academy. So I bet you're wondering, can I be as smart as you? Smart enough to one day teach at Harvard?
Community college.
Probably not. Because as I said before,
I have a Ph.D.
Big Brain Academy made its debut on the Nintendo DS in 2005, and I'm gonna be honest, up until about 5 minutes ago, I didn't know a DS1 existed.
I've always been more of a Wii degree type of guy.
Anywho, this was around the time where Nintendo was trying to appeal to not only gamers, but everyone. So they made a line of puzzle and mental challenge games to further draw in the casual audience, kind of like, well, Brain Age and Big Brain Academy. I don't really remember how, but sometime when I had my Wii, I ended up with Big Brain Academy Wii degree when I was young. But that's not important. Out of nowhere, Nintendo dropped an announcement, no trailer, just an announcement for Big Brain Academy Brain vs. Brain on the Nintendo Switch. And with that announcement was a release date. Now, to be fair, this game really doesn't need a trailer. Essentially, Big Brain Academy is just a glorified minigame collection. Big Brain Academy Brain vs. Brain, on the other hand, is essentially the same thing, but now the whole family can play. So yes, the big deal here is you can face off against 3 other players, or play against online ghosts, but we'll get to that later. To be honest, looking back at it all, this package isn't really worth $60, which makes sense, seeing as the game sells for $30. For the price point, I mean, it's fine. It still feels like there's a little bit too little content, but again, remember, it's Big Brain Academy. Let's look back and talk about the minigames for a minute. None of them felt like bad or out of place, all of them felt like they made sense. When selecting minigames, there's 5 categories. Each category has 4 minigames and are typically all minigames that seem to fit and make sense to their category. And overall, each and every one of them is pretty fun to play, but rewarding to master. On the topic of mastering them, I say that because this game gets hard, like really difficult. Each minigame gets you 1 minute to see how big of a brain you have, which is how high a score you get. But while you go up, you'll notice you go up in class. Once you get to elite class, sometimes it's better to just give up and not lose points. Next up, we have Ghost Clash, the online mode. What this mode does is it takes the replays of online players and lets you play against them. So what's different about this mode is it's essentially just the multiplayer mode, but you can look stupid and lose to a 7-year-old. For an online mode, it works. It does the job. It's definitely better alternative to just playing minigames alone, because this time there's a global rank and you kind of feel something when you win. It's of course nothing spectacular because as I said before, well, it's Big Brain Academy. Then we have Test, the thing that terrified me throughout my educational career. The test category is essentially what actual high school tests used to be. Overload kids with information, then only select a few of those topics and test them on those. Again, too many flashbacks. But then the test tallies up your scores on each one and tells you your overall big brain brawn. And looking at mine, it's a miracle I graduated high school. Now, before we get to the party mode, there's seriously one thing that can make this game so much better and more educational at the same time. They should add a money management section, because I have a Wii fishing rod. Finally, we have the party mode, the game's main attraction.
It's just Ghost Clash, but local multiplayer.
Yeah, there's not a lot to say about this that I haven't already said. You can play against local players, that's all. It really is just Ghost Clash, but you could do it with 4 players. That's not to say it isn't fun. Far from it. This is definitely the best mode in the package, but it's just nothing more than it wants to be, and sometimes that's good. So, overall, Big Brain Academy Brain vs. Brain isn't bad. Now, I mean, it's an acquired taste sort of thing. If you want it, go ahead and get it. If not, you really gotta know what you're getting into with this thing. Well, now, if you excuse me, to keep my PhD, apparently I have to take a test. So let me go study. And just like that, I am no more Dr. Professor Dr. Tubbins, Ph.D.
Because I lost my PhD and failed the test.